there is a point that people have been making in the Balisong community for many, many years. Okay, now this point specifically comes from people who are either new or don't have the money to really invest fully into the hobby to make it fun enough for them to want to stick around. Okay, now the way this really works, or the way I'm going to break this down, is by comparing. I'm going to be comparing other hobbies to balisong flipping, and then kind of showing you that the reason this hobby isn't growing is because it's not affordable for what it is. Okay, now look at pen spinning. Now, some of those can get pretty pricey, maybe $60, and that's at the high end, right? But even at the high end, the high end of balisongs are like $1,000, right? Now, if you want a good balisong, average price you're going to pay is between $100 to $300, okay? That's the average price for something that is going to be good, something that is going to be comfortable, fit your preference, look nice, have a good durable material. That is really the price bracket we're going to be talking about and comparing to other hobbies. Look at Rubik's Cubes, The high end, the absolute highest end of those are between $60 to $80. They still don't really break the $100 mark, And yeah, people are going to point out, oh, maybe you could get, but, that's maybe. We're talking rarities, I've had, high-end Rubik's Cubes, and I've never paid over $100 for them, Yo-yoing. I mean, all of these things that I'm mentioning, pen spinning, Rubik's Cubes, yo-yoing, and there's going to be many, many more, kendama, juggling. I mean, there's just so many things, even my nunchuck spinning that I do, I love nunchucks. Even that at the highest end's about, 60 to $80. All of these things are $60 to $80, right? But the thing is, with butterfly knives or with balisongs, whether they're trainers or live blades, we don't get that luxury. Well, actually, we do get luxury because we're paying a premium. But what I mean is, we don't get the opportunity to get something that is cheap but also good. The things that are cheap and good don't really last very long. They're kind of just like a, hey, it's here and now it's gone sort of thing. But, that's only when something that has decent material is designed well and turns out to be pretty good. But in the $40 to $80 range of balisongs, I know this is going to be a crazy blanket statement, but I'm just being dead honest with people. It's just not going to be as good as it could be, or it's not going to be as good as people would want in terms of wanting to stick with this hobby. When you're a beginner and you don't even know how to flip, you want something that's going to be lightweight. You want something that's going to be comfortable. You want something that's going to be easy to do the tricks that you're trying to learn. But you don't get that as a beginner. You get something that's heavy and jagged and stainless steel because you only are willing to invest $10. I mean, when I was growing up and I would see these things, I never once in my life thought that these were over $20. Anyone who's on the outside looking into this hobby, these things look no more than $20, maybe 40 to 60 at the absolute most. People would drop their jaws if they knew that, this right here cost over $100. Or, other balisongs cost over $100. It just wouldn't make sense to them. It wouldn't make sense at all. And the crazy thing is, another thing, fidget spinners. I mean, even those could get expensive, but at least the ones that were extremely cheap, $3 to $5 to $10, at least they functioned well and were easy to use. All of the things I mentioned prior, Rubik's Cubes, yo-yoing, kendama, anything like that, even tech decks, fingerboards and stuff, all of that stuff is actually more affordable and can be looked at as more fun for the long run for people who are trying to get into a hobby. Any hobby, I mean, Whew, I mean, there's just tons of hobbies that you can actually get into that are either as fun or more fun to some people, depending on what you're looking for, that you can get into for a much cheaper price. And that is really what we're up against. That is why this community doesn't seem to last. And for the community that sticks around, the people who can afford these high-end things, or the people who have developed the skill and have stuck with it so that anything that they do get is worth it, it's the fact that they were privileged enough to be able to stick with it by getting something that they could. But there are a lot of people out there who just either aren't willing to or literally cannot spend all of this money and all of this time to be in a hobby like this. And that's just one of the major reasons as to why this hobby isn't as prominent as it should be. And someone brought that up to me in the comments, and I just figured I should talk about it because it's a very pressing issue that we have. There's a lot of people who join, and there's a lot of people who leave, okay? I mean, I would say that the leaving rate of this hobby is probably higher than the joining rate. I don't have any, statistical evidence to back that up, but I can almost put money on the table about that exact statement, okay? Anyway, I'm going to try to be posting more than usual. I might, who knows, get back to those daily uploads. I may get back to it. But yeah, as far as this video is, it's pretty much over, folks. So go ahead and enjoy the rest of your lives, days, game shows, family and friends, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Yeet.